Hello, friendlings! I am Claude from Chicago. We are here for real people with real creativity in real time. Friendlings never give up, and I won't on you. And today we are back with another Planet Coaster time-lapse video here in Lucky Lakes. Today we have 3 exciting rides for you all to observe and watch, and it is going to be the carousel, the teacups, and our first coaster, which is a Woody coaster. So the first thing that we do is we go and build the carousel on a little hill, because most of my theme parks are usually stuck in a flat area, and I wanted to give it some depth and some height. So I thought it would be perfect if this park was created when we say it is, that it is taking full advantage of all of the high ground that is provided, which is what we make. So we're going to give a little bit of a backstory to this park. This is Lucky Lakes. It is its 100th anniversary, and it is a budget theme park if you didn't catch the first episode. So everything that we have done, even though that this carousel has been here since the opening of the park, that this new outside addition with the glass windows and the roofing would have not been there in its original design. So this would have been one of the first attractions, and we are just coming back here and just creating something nice around it. So maybe just adding the glass windows, the holiday lights, and everything. So one of the things that I did want to add on the outside was add a bunch of lakes here in this park. Obviously, Lucky Lakes. So we wanted to give ourselves a nice little waterfall here, and I'm using the alpine rocks as one of the detail pieces here, and I'm going to be using the waterfall technique that I saw from Geekism from years ago, which is by using these water splashing effects and just hiding them in the rocks and spinning them in such a way that it would mimic because we did record this live on Twitch, which is our Twitch is Claude from Chicago. So everything is recorded live over there. So if you want to see the full unedited stream, you have 2 weeks after the stream is over to watch the full unedited version, which by the time you're watching this would be roughly, about a week left, because it takes me about a week to get these videos done. So I wanted to add in a railing so no one would fall into the little pond or lake, the Lucky Lake. So I added in a metal fence, and then on the interior queue of this, the switchback, I wanted to add in a few little details, and it took me a little bit of time to find out. So I thought about going to one of the original horses from the carousel and placing it in there. That would, maybe there would be a sign talking about the history of it, and just having that there would make it such a cool experience for park enthusiasts, as well as new guests, showing like this has been here for a very long time. Another thing that I did was add in a hot air balloon with some lights around it to give us this centerpiece. I didn't want to leave it open in this case, and I came up with a few designs, and the hot air balloon was the best. I just put it to stationary because it is an animatronic, and I wanted to just encapsulate it and give it something unique, one of those old vibes. So the second ride that we are working on is the Teacup Rides. I do want to go with the new vibe here and add in some glass windows so that the guests on the ride itself and people walking by can see how long the queue is and how exciting the ride is. The teacups and the carousel, I came to the issue of me always forgetting, but it is so important when you're playing Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, or any creative game where you can copy pieces and put them around, is to add the lighting on there and add all the details to these little sections that I make, or these sections that you will make, and add the lighting there first so that when you duplicate it, it looks perfectly fine. And I do think, now that I'm looking at this, that I did do it for the Teacup Ride, because it took me maybe about 10 minutes to add the lighting back to the carousel. So it is important to add all your little details first, just so you can avoid these issues down the road. Yeah, see, I did add the lights, and all I'm doing is I'm taking that build and I'm duplicating it and rotating it on the x-axis so it perfectly matches. And this ride is slightly bigger than a perfect circle, so I had to come up with an idea, and I thought just giving it that half circle right there on the sides where most people won't see would look the best. Plus, it doesn't look too terrible anyways. So I was like, you know what, this is pretty much done. And I went back inside and deleted all the little pieces because eventually this park is going to lag so bad. And when we have a park that lags so bad and we cannot even play on it anymore, that's when we know our park is finally completed. I walk around here, give a little recap of everything. I think this must have been the end of the stream for doing that. And then the next day or later in that stream, cannot remember, we start working on our first coaster of the park, which would have been built in 1933, which we are going with in the storyline, which is the Baroness, or the Big Baroness, because in the next episode, there might be another addition to it. But we go with a nice wooden theme, considering that this has been here for such a long time. And I did a more modern wood, because obviously it's being revamped for the 100-year anniversary. And obviously there you see me covering up the stairs, because it was an issue with... it was first an issue just having stairs there, because it was going from a ramp to stairs. But considering that Moshe, Nosha, and all the other organizations that plague our parks with rules and regulations, obviously throughout the years, these old parks need to be up to date with handicap accessibility and all those other little features. So I really wanted to incorporate that here, and I will have to go in our next ride and add an elevator because there is no way to go down except for stairs. So coasters are not my strong suit in Planet Coaster, even though I have now officially 458 hours played in the game. Just checked right before I made this. That it's still a little bit difficult for me. And I actually got this coaster done on the first try because I was, obviously Moshe at the time had a lot of rules and regulations on how to do stuff. And thank you so much for all of our Twitch subscribers and everyone for coming out to the stream and contributing. As you see on there, Noon subscribed, and you saw everyone else's little names. And at the end of every stream, there is going to be a thank you to all those subscribers, and you'll see the most current updated times at the end of this video. So if you want to keep your name remembered in history, subscribe, donate, or just kind of come out to the streams, because at the first of every month, or pretty close to it, I will post all the top hours into our Discord, giving a thank you to you guys that always support Fredlings. It really means a lot to me. Doing this on YouTube for so many years and finally having a beautiful community such as ours, it really means a lot to me. So we want to keep adding in some more details. It's always good to do the lighting passes while you start if you want to go for a night park, is to do the lighting as you go, because if you do it at the end, you're going to get overwhelmed, like I was saying, with the carousel. Doing them piece by piece, or just adding lights after each section. So what I'm doing is I build a section, add the lights, build a section, add the lights, come back in and do the little details, especially with these little fences. I really want to do this as soon as possible on our future rides, because obviously you don't want guests walking over your nice plants, so you have to come in there and you have to add in some things. I saw a big open section here inside of Simon's bar, and I wanted to add in a couple more seating arrangements for them. And that is what I did, and I added it in this little fence there that is going to go around, and eventually we'll wrap off going back through a quick little lighting pass. And this is just making the park go so much nicer, because eventually this park will be put on a workshop, and you Fredlings can always go through and make tweaks or explore it yourself. And I want you to be able to explore it in any time of day or any sort of style you want. Currently, while making this, it is the holiday season of 2021 in December, and with this being the 100-year anniversary, these lights would probably maybe even stay up all year, because, you know, it's a big party. Come on now. I come on the inside and I add a light over the little carousel And I add a string of lights there, a straight string, even though the rest are curved, just because I want to show that, you know, guests could go up there and grab it. Come back and do a little bit more detail works on the lights on Habibis. And then I come through here and I smooth out the lake and add in some trees. Now, in the end of this video, we have obviously pretty much finished recording episode 3. And the thumbnail itself also has some visuals from episode 3. Just because I forgot to record it, because we pretty much right after the next day we started working on the next episode. I forgot to do a recap or get the glamour shots, so that's my bad. So I did not want to mislead people. I just want to clarify that while we are here. Inside of the housing and the train housing for the queue line, we are going with a wooden solid theme. This is the original wood from the ride. This park is still unknown where it's at, but we are thinking that this park is inside of the United Kingdom. So we are going to go with the Union Jack. So when you see red, white, and blue, or blue, white, and red, it is representing the Union Jack, not the American flag in the current case. It may switch depending on what the chat votes and the upcoming streams of where this park is. But this is the Big Baroness, so I wanted to make this a standout thing, and I even used the iron roofs that were from the original piece. So all the park employees did was just come through here, add in some renovations, but kept it all originally intact so that every guest could enjoy the original pieces of the park. Inside here, going in and doing some light theming, showing some stuff. I was going to add a train in there, but the only issue is with the train, it doesn't match the theme because the Baroness was we're going with, I think it was a World War I plane, so adding a train in there just wouldn't make any sense. Baroness is also a title, so I didn't want to put that all in there, so that's the reason for it. And I came through here and added in some little details with some barrels of boxes and some of these spools of rope. Adding these little details to your park will make your park pop so much more instead of just doing the straight box. As you see here, I'm coming even back in and adding some wood pieces that did not exist for what I did here. And I even came in, and I like these too, is adding in the support beams of the buildings so that this roof actually has a support, so that if it, you know, it wouldn't make sense if it was just floating. And just as you see here, even coming through the outside and under the fences, I wasn't going to do this, but coming through the fences and adding support beams so that it looks perfect. So I'm coming through here, adding in some more, some of these more banners, drapes. Pops off the color of just the brown. We're trying to get away from that. Obviously, these are up probably normally all year round. They're faded and wouldn't be a part of the original build, but maybe the concept was there. Obviously, new versions. Try to come in with some more drapes. Didn't like them. Try to come in with some more drapes on the inside, which would have looked really cool. And I'm debating about going back and adding these in, but I decided ultimately in this episode to just not put them in there, but it does change up the color of everything. So the final thing that we are going to do on this episode is the lighting. Lighting. These little details you wouldn't think add much to it, but this lighting probably took me maybe about 45 minutes to an hour to do, and we're going with the blue, white, red color for the Union Jack. And it honestly took forever to do, and it's gonna look so cool at the end, but I go blue, white, red, and then I'll go with a blue section, a white section, a red section, and then go back to the pattern at the end. But just come in here using these little lights, shooting them down. I know they're sticking out, but it will make your park pop out and stand out. So we're gonna go to another cut, and I will see you in a second. So I want to give a massive shout out to our Twitch subscribers, tip donators, bit donators, and our future merchandise holders for making these streams, videos, and everything possible. We're going to go into some glamour shots here, Fredlings, and I want to thank you so much again for watching all of these Planet Coaster videos live or post here in the channel. And you can see all these beautiful rides and even in the reflection in the lake down below. And I'm going to just leave you with the beautiful coaster and some beautiful Planet Coaster music. And I will see you, Fredlings, next time on another live stream or video here to come. And remember, a real Fredling makes their own luck.